Happy Tuesday, Believe Nation. We're here. Tuesday's my YouTube filming day, but taking a quick break. The morning I usually do YouTube data analytics, stats, looking over my channel, multiple channels, getting ideas as I'm kind of waking up and getting used to things. And then in the afternoon is when I get to actually filming. So this morning has been just looking over stats and data and what thumbnails are working and what I need to fix. And I still have a little bit more to do. And then after lunch, I'm making content. I'm making videos. Today's my big filming day, so I got to make a lot of videos. I don't know how many videos. A lot of videos. My team is awesome. They put together all the research and all the things that I need to film, and I go over it and then film. So that's today. It's going to be fun. But let's have some fun. Let's bring people in. Let's try to answer some questions. I see Anthony Williams here in the house. Let's bring in Anthony. See how I can bring value and help. Waiting on Anthony. Waiting on Ant Will 198. Let's go. Benjamin in the house. Welcome. Where are you now, Benjamin? I saw you hopping a flight somewhere. Did I make that up? I feel like I saw you were hopping on a flight somewhere. Hopefully you're doing well. 117 Beats saying, hey, welcome aboard. Still waiting on Anthony. I have a question. Awesome. You got a question? Pop it down below. See how I can bring some value. Great. That's the second time you said I have a question. Great. Put the question. You know, you never know when you're going to get your shot. So take it. We're still waiting on Anthony to join. T Fox KC, hello. Welcome aboard. Welcome. Anthony, what's happening, Anthony? Ant Will 198. Waiting on Ant Will 198. Let's see what happens. Oh, it didn't work. Anthony, what happened? Let's try getting Anthony back. Where is he? Anthony, Nick Tabor in the house. IG Live with Angela in the house. This is great. I love it. Okay, let's try to bring Anthony back in. All right, Anthony. While we wait, you made so much inspiration to me. Thank you. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Glad to hear you're feeling better.
I'm almost out of the woods. I'm almost there.
Great.
Where are you calling from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Oh, okay. We're not that far. I'm in Toronto.
Yeah. A little temperature difference.
So talk to me. How can I help?
Let's see. So I've kind of a little short backstory.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I moved from Seattle to Jersey to do caregiving for my mother.
Okay.
And in the process, the day I arrived, my uncle passed from dementia. So anyway, it was a wake-up call, recognizing there was a family story, no family background recorded. And so I launched off to figure out how to do a family book. So done that and done some books with a 93-year-old veteran of 3 wars. Got that published. So I'm on this mission to figure out how I can get books in hands of all families that experience similar experiences and have going through that regret process, and looking at doing that through let's say online, obviously, and then doing the self-publishing, and ranging from do it yourself to doing it for you, and I guess in the middle there doing it with you. And so there's some challenges there of maybe considering doing online interview process, questions, then generating a book, and then moving up, I guess you call it a value ladder, going to doing it with you, and then doing the whole thing for you, and obviously using, except for the doing it yourself. Well, there's two roles to that, but using audio recording and doing the transcription and, inserting photos and that type of thing. So question is, thoughts about, I'm targeting my market is, I see a big gap in the African American community.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a huge market. Just doing, informal surveys with family, friends, and people in different areas around the country. So I think it's a huge, huge market and a gap there that hasn't been addressed. Most of the self-publishing targets been primarily on business focus, right? Entrepreneurs. So I'm trying to figure out, should I try to do a subscription approach, where it's do it yourself, subscription approach, filling in the blanks, getting that information, compiling it, and doing the self-publishing.
So you want to help people tell their stories and preserve it before it's too late.
Exactly.
And it's gone, right?
Yep.
And you want to do everything from just the entry levels, just teaching people how to do it. Here's the model. Here's the tools to use, all the way up to I will do it for you and interview your mother or your uncle and help you write the book.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. So the benefit here is when people are writing a book, there's two reasons why they'll do it. One is because they're trying to generate business, they're trying to generate leads, they're trying to generate authority for themselves. But the second is just to preserve, because they want to have a book. Some people, their bucket list is just, I want to have a book.
Right.
They don't necessarily even care about it becoming a New York Times bestseller. They just want to have the book for the family, for the history, for the legacy, for the process of doing it.
Exactly.
Which sounds more like the model you're trying to go down. It's like, hey, have this for the family history. And yes, it will be on Amazon, and yes, people may buy it, but the focus isn't sales. The focus is preserving legacy.
Exactly.
So because there's no business case tied to it, like it's not going to help them get more sales, you're targeting individuals, and some people will have the budget to be able to hire you and pay you for this, and some people they just won't.
Exactly.
I like the model of one, you sharing your story, you putting out content talking about why you do this, why it's so important, how you came here and like lost your uncle, the next day, and his story didn't get preserved, and why you're on this mission. And then a subscription model could work. You have to think, like, once somebody has a book out, is it done? Or do they still need you for something else?
Yeah, so these are what I would call short-term subscriptions, and basically, maybe I'm approaching it wrongly. I don't know, but basically to address the affordability perspective, breaking it into I call it a subscription, but it's probably a payment plan. But trying to overcome the initial price barrier to call it a subscription, like a 90-day subscription, and we send you questions every week, or a series of questions every week. A family member can do the interview, enter the text into a block into responding to that question, or they can go to do an audio and walk through the whole thing, and then send it to us, and we'll get the transcription done for you, the book printed, and that type of thing.
Yeah, so I think what you should be selling is, first off, you put up a whole bunch of free content talking about the process, why it's so important, and showcasing how you're an expert on this thing, so you can generate some attention towards it. But I think what you should be selling is, as an entry level, a 90-day program or 60-day program. Like, I don't know how long it takes to go through all the steps for what you're trying to do, but they're not buying a subscription, they're buying a course. You're going to teach people how to write their book.
Okay.
So that, and you don't just write a book overnight, right? There's a process that you have to go through.
Right.
And even like what kinds of questions to ask. Like, here's the question you need to ask Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Right. And here are the types of people you should also try to find somebody who went to high school with and somebody who went to university with, and just like things that people may not think of how to tell the story. And I don't know how much you care about that, like tracking down their old classmates or whatnot, but giving people primers, because a lot of people would say, hey, that's cool. I'd love to write a book on my Uncle Joe, but I don't know how to write a book. I've never gone through this process. And so you're giving people the done for you version of it, where it's, okay, a book should be 8 to 10 chapters. Here's what the chapters should be about. Here's how to collect the information. Here's how to then put it together into a book. And then the technical of how do you publish to Amazon, and how do you create a book cover, and resources and guides to help people. But step one is even just the process of being able to write a book. Most people, they wouldn't know how to do it, and what questions to ask and any of that stuff. Even the idea of when you sit down with Uncle Joe, record it on your phone, even just an audio, so you can go back and listen to it later. Like things that for you probably seem basic now, but for a lot of people, they literally have no idea how to do it. And if you could teach people in a 60-day window, a 90-day window of how to go from wanting to write a book to having a book finished on their own, using your formula. So I could just go step by step. Then that's your product. That's your program.
Okay.
It's not a subscription, because after they've done it, they don't need it. There's nothing else to, unless you're trying to get into like, how do you market the book, and how do you, like, there's something else afterwards, but you're selling a 60 or 90-day program. The next level on top of that is you could do coaching. So if they want to hire you for an hour of your time to either help them brainstorm the book, have them help you, like you come in and you do one session with Uncle Joe, you're there, via Skype or phone call, you're asking some of the questions, wherever they might get caught up, they don't know how to publish to Amazon and need some extra help, right? They could hire you on an hourly basis or buy a block of 5 hours of your time, at a discounted rate. And then the third step would be, hey, I'll do the whole thing for you. Me and my team, we'll do the whole thing for you. Here's what I need from you, right? And so that's obviously going to be the most expensive package. And you'll be limited on how many, like if you're going to be the guy actually writing the book, you're limited on how much you can actually, you can't take on 20 books at the same time, because you got to do the interviews and the writing and everything. So, but the free leads you to the first payment, which is just for your course. And then out of there, some people look at the course and say, I just don't want to do all this stuff. I want to tell Uncle Joe's story, but I don't want to do all this stuff. Can I just hire you? Like, yes, you can.
So if I hear you correctly, so I've developed some templates. This outline chapter templates, and they can go in and pre-select, for instance, childhood. They can select multiple choice items, and then it generates an outline, right? And so that to me is a free item.
I think maybe on like free is always just a basic entry level. I think if you're actually like templates is something you could sell. So if you're thinking about how many chapters are in a book, like how many chapters would you say needs to be in a book?
I don't know, 12.
12 chapters, great. So if you think there should be 12, you should sell me a package of 15 to 20 different options. And inside each chapter, you're telling me what I need to go off and do. So like chapter 1 is maybe childhood, or chapter 1 is their parents, like how he was born, how Uncle Joe was born. And then you teach me how to find out information about it and what questions I need to ask Uncle Joe. maybe I kill that chapter because we know nothing about his parents and there are no records. And so, okay, I skip that and I go to childhood. And then you give me 25 questions that I asked Uncle Joe about his childhood.
Okay.
What was your favorite memory growing up? You know, what did you love to do on Saturday afternoon? You already know this stuff, but most people won't know how to do it. And you just give me the questions that I need to sit down and ask. And if a book should be 12 chapters and you're giving me 15 to 20 options, I get to pick the ones that feel the most authentic, and I can actually get some information out of Uncle Joe and the people around him to actually write the book. You could do a quick summary that's free, right? Like, here are some of the chapters, here's why it's important. But the actual how-to in detail with all the questions is the template that you sell.
They sell, right? Okay. So you could do a summary says, here's some things that's typically would it be included in the family story, and these are the reasons why they're important to capture.
Yeah, and you're always tapping into the why, because we want to tell Uncle Joe's story before he passes. He's already losing, like, every day that goes by, he's losing more memories and faculties. And I mean, for me, having gone through, like, my grandfather had Alzheimer's and witnessing that progression, and like literally every day he's losing more and more of his memories, and being able to kind of capture that before he loses everything is a great kind of honor and legacy to give and leave for the rest of the family. So you're always tapping into the why it's so important.
Okay.
But then if you want, and I have a product, it's the step-by-step structure of how to do it, right? And even thinking like it's going to take 3 days of interviews, or 3 separate interviews with Uncle Joe.
Right.
And on, interview 1, it's going to take about an hour, and you're going to ask these 18 questions. It's going to cover off your first 3 chapters, right? Or whatever the process is, right? The step-by-step detailed approach is the thing that you sell. The why, the overview, the like, this is so important, the preserving the legacy, all that stuff is the free.
Okay.
Right? So somebody might take the free and just run with it. Somebody might take the free and say, oh, here are the 12 chapters or 15 potential chapters, because you've just given them a basic structure and outline.
Right.
And if they want to run with it, great.
Yeah. Right.
But if they're otherwise they can spend, I don't know what you're going to charge, like $97 to get all the templates and all the questions. And if you want to have a proven technique that I've used over and over and over again to help tell people stories, people then decide, like, is it worth the $97 to do it right before Uncle Joe forgets everything? Or am I just going to try to do it all myself? And at least you've given them something that they can start working with.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, so that clarified to me. I think I understand what you're saying. So I was talking about the subscription, but what I was thinking about the subscription is exactly what you talked about in terms of walking through, chapter 1 through 3, and then going to chapter 4 through 7, whatever.
Yeah, and I think guiding people, because they don't know how long it takes and they don't know what to do. So you give them a deadline. So like in the first 30 days, like maybe it's 90 days to get the book. And in the first 30 days, you have to get all of this stuff done. Like the first 30 days is all the research, and the second 30 days is all the interviews, and the third 30 days is all the writing and approving and posting on Amazon or whatever. Like, you've done it, you know what the structure should be, but then you're guiding people. And I would create even this works super well for an email sequence. So if somebody buys your $97 course template, right?
Yeah.
But you're also giving them, so like by the end of week 1, they have to have done this stuff. By the end of week 1, you need to have picked which chapters you're going to go to. You need to have set up your first interview time with Uncle Joe, right? Or whatever it is. You have an email sequence that after somebody buys, you welcome them and say, hey, I'm here if you need help. let me know. I'm so excited for you to tell your story and all this stuff. But then, you tell them, hey, this week, here's what you need to do. And then at the end of the week, 7 days are up, you send them another email that says, hey, by the end of week 1, you should have done this already. How you doing?
Okay.
Are we on top of it? Did you? Because
Right.
you don't want people, and here's what happens most of the time. People buy a course and they never take any action on it. Right?
Exactly.
They love the idea of telling Uncle Joe's story, but then they never actually go through, even though you spent so much time on the templates, even though
Right.
you know the templates are going to work for them,
Right.
they just don't commit the time to doing it.
Okay.
So having an email sequence where you're reminding them every week of like where they should be in the process. And then also if they need help, if they're stuck, you have a call option for them.
Right.
Or if they just decided that they don't want to do it, they could hire you to do it as well.
Right. Okay.
Because you may get people who buy the templates, who buy your course, and then 3 weeks in decide, you know what?
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hire him to do it, right? Like I still want to do this, but I don't want to do this myself. I thought I would make the time, but I'm not. But we need to get Uncle Joe's story out there.
Right.
So
Okay.
let's just hire him. But if you're not staying top of mind, they might just forget about it and move on with everything else that's happening in their life.
And
so,
it doesn't get, yeah.
So a weekly email where it should be like a check-in, value add. It's not just a sales pitch every week. Value add, helping them where they should be in the process, what they should be doing, next week. And anytime somebody buys, you just put them into the email sequence. So they start at day 0, and then next week they're getting an email, and 2 weeks later again. So for 90 days, they're getting an email every week from you talking about what they should be up to now. So like by the last month, now we're submitting to Amazon. Now we're getting our book cover done. And how do you get book covers done? Like you hire an artist, you go to Fiverr,
exactly.
whatever. Right. Again, like all the stuff that but people who want to do it have no idea.
So I appreciate the clarity for me there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was focusing so much on, getting the book done, but there's a process sell the process.
Sell the process, because that's the biggest thing that people won't do. They just get overwhelmed. They think it's too difficult. And so having a timeline attached to it, get your book out in 90 days.
Yeah.
And then you teach me every step along the way what I need to do.
Without writing a single word, right?
Yeah, and then some people will hire you to want to write the words.
No, I mean, they can do this all without writing anything.
Yeah, if they want.
Yeah. So you give them the option of entering the data into a form or doing the audio recording.
Yeah.
Because I know, obviously, and the other piece, and I'm kind of jumping here, but the other piece I'm thinking is this could be a gift.
Yep.
A gift to, Uncle Joe, and then Uncle Joe may not be at a state that he can enter text, but he can speak, right?
Every Mother's Day, every Father's Day,
right?
Every Remembrance Day, Veterans Day in the U.S.,
Grandparents' Day, that kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah, all that stuff. Every holidays, all the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, all the times when we think about family is the time when, because they're going to see their Uncle Joe at Thanksgiving, and they're going to see that he's starting to maybe lose it a little bit. It's like, man, we need to really get this out before it's too late.
Okay. Yeah, and so you could build campaigns around those dates, right?
You can absolutely. Yeah, Christmas is coming up, New Year's is coming up, Mother's Day is coming up. I mean, where are we? We're in April now, so Mother's Day, Father's Day,
right?
Yeah,
Father's Day, June. Yeah,
best way to honor your mom.
Yeah,
let's tell her story.
And build it around the gift, right? The gift part maybe as a gift, so they're not like.
Yeah, gift to yourself, a gift to her, gift to the family. Like instead of just buying another trinket,
Right.
let's actually preserve your
Yeah.
legacy.
Yeah.
And people don't know what to buy. I mean, people are like
Exactly. And it's
mad, last minute scrambling, flowers, like just, right? Instead, you can actually get something meaningful.
yeah, and yeah, you can accelerate it. I mean, so yeah, there's a process where we can accelerate it in a few weeks if they want to, but the fact that you just bought the gift, it's a Father's Day gift, Mother's Day gift, and they can, it's good for 12 months or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, they buy the course and they get access whenever they want the course.
Right.
Your goal is then, I mean, your goal isn't just to sell a course. Your goal is to actually get them to write the book, right? Like
precisely.
we want them to actually make the book and actually preserve the legacy, and not just, buy something that doesn't lead to anything yet. So that's where the email sequence comes into play, right? So they bought it. They say, hey, welcome. Here's why I did this. And this template works. And it's designed to make it as easy as possible for you. If you need any extra help, I'm happy to. I also do calls, and I have a made for you service, but here's what you should be doing in your first week.
Right.
This is what you need to start doing right now. If you want to get your book in 90 days, you can have your book done. First week, here's what you need to do.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Just have the standard process laid out and just attach the follow-ups to that.
Yep. And then next week, same thing. Hey, we're done week 1. Hope you did well. Here's what we need to now focus on the next week. Again, I've got a call out if you're struggling. I have a call service. I also do done for you books, but I hope you're sticking with the process. And here's what we need to be focused on this week so you can get the story out. So that's all online stuff. I'd also look offline. I'd look to like
workshops.
No, I look to like who could be a partner for me. I'd look at senior homes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to stick to the African American community, so I don't know if there's like African American senior homes, but
but that was just an area. But no, the reason I moved here with my mother and still renting my house out is dementia, Alzheimer's. So I know Alzheimer senior homes, Alzheimer, huge, right?
Yeah. So I'll be looking at seniors' homes.
So go in and do like workshops there, or
possibly. Yeah, I'd be looking at what you want to have is that the people there recommending it, so the staff.
Right. Exactly. Right.
So when people come in, when they bring their parents in, or when they come in to visit their parents, there's this extra option. I'd also look at organizations, Alzheimer's organizations, nonprofits.
Right.
To see if you can come in and do a workshop or do an email blast or do an online webinar, or they're willing to endorse you.
Right.
Because it aligns super well with what their
mission, right?
Right. I mean, imagine if everybody who had Alzheimer's, like, fortunately, I got to know my grandfather before he passed, and my mom did a good job of doing the storytelling and everything. But if I was born like 5 years later, I wouldn't really know who he was, right?
Right.
My only memory of Grandpa would have been this guy who just kind of sat in the corner and never talked, So here's this option to have this book out. And also, I mean, you should also think, what do we do with the audio recordings? Because that's pretty cool too.
Well, yeah. So one of the things is my, I don't know, I'll call it a ladder, is, how do you do the print book? How do you do the, possibly ebook, but also the MP3 files, right? Yeah. So because, repurposing the MP3, repurposing the audio recording for transcription, and then for the audio, I wouldn't say audio book, but just the audio file. So they're getting more sensory hits on, the hearing the voices, and imagery that comes into play, and then that voice gets translated to the print, right? I mean,
Yeah, but still, even just to listen, like if there was an interview with my great grandfather,
Right.
and I may know his story, but I get to hear it in his own words, in his
Words.
voice.
Right.
Yeah, right. Of him telling it. So it's great to have the book, but there's also like this is him, his own voice. I remember when I was in university, my parents sent me to Italy to do this, to interview my great aunt, who was, early stage dementia, was like, wasn't going to live that much longer because of other health issues. And I didn't speak Italian well. So they gave me a bunch of questions that I could read, but I didn't really even understand her answers. I just kind of went to the next question, but I video recorded it.
Right.
She didn't want to be on camera, so like I'm recording the chair next to her, but we have the audio of her answering the questions that then my parents turned into not a published book, but just like for the family archives of here's Aunt Angela and her responses to these questions. So even though I didn't even know what I was asking really or what she was saying, we captured the footage that then now every now and then my parents would go back and still just listen to what she said. So the book is awesome, but there's also what do I do with the audio?
So maybe there's an interim step in there between doing the summary, the template, and then doing the audio, and then I guess you call it the next rung up would be, okay, how would you like to have that into a book, right?
Yeah, I just think preserving the audio, saving it.
Right.
And it's not hard. Like, if you have a cell phone, you can record audio. You don't need to have...
Exactly. Right.
Don't go buy a $500 microphone. And
no, you don't need... No.
We're not making this documentary here, right? Just, you have a phone, you press record, and you've got your content ready to go.
And then send me the file, and we'll put it on a little USB for you or something, and label it. And then if you want to print, we'll take that and turn that audio into a book for you.
Yeah, as an upsell option.
That's an upsell option.
Yeah. Yeah, so if they want to do it, great. And if they don't know how to ask the questions, they don't want to ask the questions, that's another option.
Right.
I'll do the questions. Like I need 3 hours of their time, and I'm going to ask them 18 questions. And it's going to be over 3 different days. Like whatever your process is, and that's going to cost X. And the more, most people won't upgrade. Most people will just stay to the basic, and that's fine. And it's hopefully still out there helping and serving.
Right. The
people who, one, have the budget, and two, this is a priority for them, but they don't want to make the time commitment, will then want to go deeper with you.
Wow. Yeah. So if I looked at this in terms of value ladder, the summary, the templates, the audio, and if they choose to go to print.
Yeah, and in between there is also a call with you. Like before, just the audio. The audio is you're going to do all the work. They have to do the interviews. You're going to do the writing. But before that could just be a phone call with you.
Between the audio and the print?
Yeah, like if they never want to hire you, even before the audio, because the audio is they're going to record it and you're going to make the book, right?
Right.
So that's going to be more expensive because it's still hours and hours and hours of your time to listen to the audio and then turn it into something. Before that is just a phone call with you. And
before the audio recording.
Yeah, they may not want to hire you to do the whole thing,
right?
But they have some questions and they want some tips.
So if they buy the template, that comes with a call.
Maybe. Depends on how much you're selling the template for and how much.
Right.
Like I guess depends on how much time you want to commit. At the beginning, it could be good just to get a sense of who's buying it and just get close to your customers.
Right.
But
it'll be time consuming if you.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're now starting to sell a lot of these things and you've committed to everybody that you're going to do a one-on-one call with them, you just want to watch out. This might be overwhelming for you.
Over committing, yes.
Yeah, but at the beginning, it's not a bad idea. Like your first 50 who buy, you're going to hop on a call with them, or first 25 who buy as a special offer.
Right.
And it also gets you knowing, like, oh, here's this person from Nebraska who's buying it because of her grandmother, or
Right.
you know, like you get to know the stories a little bit more, which can be helpful for your website and your sales process to have testimonials and case studies and all that. But ultimately, they just buy the course, which has all the templates in the plan, and then if they have any questions, they can hire you for a call, which could just be, I don't know what questions to ask, or my grandmother has a special case and I don't know how it fits into which chapter, like just helping people, but they may not be able to afford to hire you to do the whole process, which may take 40 hours or something. They're just hiring you for a 1 hour call. Or maybe they want you just to do the interviews. It's like, hey, we don't know how to ask great questions. I know you put it in the template, but we'd love for you to pull out their story. And so they hire you for 3 to 4 hours to just do the interviews, right? So like there's this option before, because the audio, if they're giving you the audio, that's going to be at least 10 to 20 hours of work for you. It's going to be a lot of work. Did he cut out? Did he cut out? Did I cut out? He's blanking out. Is it me? Is it him? Can you guys see me, or can you see him? Or both, or neither? Let me know in the chat who buzzed out. Let's see. Oh no, he left. Okay, we lost his connection. Anyway, so Anthony, just quickly to recap. I know we're a little bit over time, but you start with the free content. The free content is you talk about why it's so important. You talking about the value of it. You giving a quick high-level overview each time of doing it. Thank you for all the love. We only see you. Appreciate it. And just getting people interested in it. Then you sell the course, and the course gives me the timeline of what I need to do and all the templates and as much done for you as possible, but I'm still the one actually going off doing the work. But I feel now like I have guidance from someone who's done it. I know what questions to ask. I know what to plug and play, and I'm going to go off and do it. So it's, you know, like a $97 program. You get your book in 90 days, and here's what you do. The next step up from that is questions. So they get access to you, so they're paying for access. They either get a 1 hour call, or they buy a block of 5 hours of your time, or 5 calls for the price of 4, something like that. And you're going to guide them in the process of writing the book, whether it's just helping them answer questions, whether it's doing the interviews, guiding them, whatever it is, over that 90-day period, you're there for them. Then it's going to be the audio, right? So like value ladder, each one costs more and more. They're going to do all the question asking, and you're going to turn into a book. And then the final step is everything. It's totally done for you. You manage the entire process for them, and that's going to be the most expensive option. That's what you do. Good luck, man. Appreciate you. Guys, I went a little over on that, but hopefully that helped Anthony. Hopefully that helped you guys too through the process of learning how to launch your products, your courses, your ideas. I got to get back to making YouTube videos. Happy Tuesday. We'll do this. Oh, tonight. If you guys are here tonight, I'm doing 3 IG Lives. We're going to be going on at 6:30 Eastern. I'm playing my League of Legends games while doing IG Live as well. So come back at 6:30. I'll see you tonight. Continue to believe. Happy Tuesday, guys. Much love.